Hey everybody, welcome to Active Self-Protection Extra. I have a video today that quite frankly, I'm not excited to make. I don't love it. But there is a big worry about the Beretta 1301 that I want you to be aware of because it's caused significant issues in the defensive world. And it's a super easy fix that you should never have a problem with, but I want to make you aware of it.
Magtech is the only freedom seed I use on the range. I personally have over 100,000 rounds downrange of Magtech, and it's unbelievably reliable, very accurate, and a great value. Pick some up for your next range trip wherever you shop for range supplies.
So Neil, I don't think we're saying too much that we love this shotgun.
No, that's my favorite gun like ever.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So we both have these. Started life as an LTT, a Langdon Tactical Elite 1301s, beautiful shotguns. Both of us then had them sent over to Van Comp. So we have two of the only Van Comp 1301s in the world. You can't get it, unfortunately. They don't do them anymore because it was a problem. But these are in great shape. They're optimized for flight control, all that stuff.
And it's orange. I mean, I got mine custom painted.
A little weird.
You can hate it. I don't care. It's mine.
Here's the other crazy thing. You see that right there? Can you see it? Can you see that right there? That's the ASP logo, right? That's his shotgun, has the logo on it. Mine doesn't. That's a crime against humanity.
Thanks, Van Comp.
Yeah, right? Thanks, Van Comp. But what I wanted to say on this one is, recently, not too long ago, my hometown PD took this gun off their approved list.
Yeah.
They took it off. And I was like, what the heck happened here? Well, they had several failures to fire in this gun. And so they said, no more. We're not having this gun anymore. You can go back to your other guns. They had several other shotguns on there that are fine guns, and that's great. But I have actually had the problem that they talk about. Now, here's the funny part. Neil and I are here, and they sit here doing some testing. This gun, we took it bird hunting with us this last weekend. And so it has just recently been thoroughly cleaned and lubed and all that stuff. So quite frankly, I'm not going to get it to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. However, here's what is happening. And we have a video. We actually have a badge cam out of Phoenix where the problem happened, that the officer who was holding on a guy who then pointed a gun at a bunch of cops brought the gun up and went click. Now, watch it happen.
Check your hands out of your pocket.
What is that? What is
that? Firearm, firearm.
No, it's a gun. It's a gun.
Firearm.
Drop the gun. Drop it.
Nail the fuck down.
515 George 998.
Now, of course, you don't get to hear the click because it just didn't get picked up on the badge cam, and the officers with the pistols handled their business.
Right.
And I even said when the badge cam happened, if you go watch the analysis on that, I said, why didn't the officer with the shotgun handle that problem?
Exactly. I remember that. I said the same thing. I'm like, man,
dude,
the one guy that was in the place that can't control all of this didn't do his job. I was a little frustrated with him, but turned out it wasn't him.
So here's what happened, okay? What we see happen in the way that you store this gun cruiser ready or closet ready is you move the bolt forward, you load the the tube full, right? Then on the 1301 in particular, it has a shell release.
Yep.
Okay. You hit that shell release button, that puts one on the lifter, but it's not in the chamber. That's the correct way to put a shotgun in cruiser ready, because you don't want one in the chamber because these aren't drop safe.
Right.
Okay, shotguns aren't drop safe. So, okay, fine. Then what you do is you take this gun off of your rack, or maybe at your house, it's closet ready.
Yeah, out of the closet.
So you out of the closet, should be in a quick access safe or something, secure from unauthorized access. You run the action. Of course, I don't have anything in it right now, so it doesn't go forward. But what can happen here is that when you do that, if you foul it a little bit, it can hang up. Just the tiniest bit. Not hang up way back here, but just hang up at the very end, especially if your spring is not real strong.
Yeah, it just doesn't go into that final battery. And frankly, so I was using, I loaned this to somebody else wanted to shoot this weekend, so I swapped out for a different semi-auto gun that is a very reliable one that I have shot before, but it was dry, and I got one shot, and it did exactly what you're talking about.
So what I'm finding as a lefty, if I'm doing my thing, and then I go boink, and I go like this, or sometimes what I'm seeing is, as a lefty again, is if I'm here, and I pop this here, see that? It can catch me on the hand as a lefty. And then when I let it go, it doesn't go all the way forward. Now this one right now, cleaned and lubed, it does, regardless. It works great. But sometimes they don't. And then what'll happen is the gun will go click. It won't just go mush, it'll click.
Yep.
Now the trigger's dead, and I got to run that action in order to kick that round out, put a new one in, and go to work. So that costs me a lot of time, and it costs me 1/7 of my available payload.
Exactly. Yeah. So
That's a
not
problem.
good time.
Okay? So that's a problem with this gun. It is a problem with this gun. Now, I don't think that Phoenix PD should have taken the gun offline, though.
No, I think that they could manage that. I think they could get, they could work through this process. It's a mechanical issue that could be addressed through, proper loading, proper training, and lube and all of that kind of stuff.
So here's what I'm finding.
But
I'm finding, number one, keep this gun for defensive purposes cleaned and lubed.
yeah,
Number one, okay? Number two, if you are going to load this gun and it sits back like this, now for you righties, shouldn't really be a problem. I reach up here, fingers on this, I shouldn't feel it, right? For those of us who are lefties, one of the things that you want to really do is when you come here, I want to feel that on my thumb. I don't want to use the meat of my hand, because when I use the meat of my hand, it will foul this.
yeah.
Okay.
Step up closer.
Yeah,
and
let me show you
I
that
can
a
see
little
it really
better.
good from the
Okay?
angle I'm at.
So what I don't want to do here is, as a lefty, if I need to use this shell release, right? If I want to use the bolt release rather, okay? What I tend to do is I will then bring my hand back here and tend to use the meat of my thumb. See this right here, the meat of my thumb on there? But see how it can catch it at the end there? And that's exactly what it'll occasionally do. So what I want to do instead is make sure that I just come back here and use my thumb and then send that forward again. So if I just use my thumb here, there it is, boom, then I don't catch it. The other thing, if I do catch myself, however else I'm going to do that, I see it, I go, there it is, bang. I got to just whack that forward so I know it's in battery. That's it. If I do those things,
it's a technique thing. It's paying attention to what you've got and the technique to make sure that you're in battery.
now then, somebody's going to say, but John, if that's a problem with this gun and I'm choosing a defensive shotgun, shouldn't I maybe just choose something else?
I think that's a personal preference.
That's a personal preference, and it's not a problem, right? Do I think that this is an unreliable shotgun? I think that one thing, if you foul this, the bolt, that could cause you a problem, and in a defensive gunfight, that could be costly.
When your life depends on it. When I'm out walking around chasing pheasants and a bird flies away, my life doesn't depend on it.
Yeah, whatever,
When
right? You
pointing a gun at
get
me,
another chance.
I don't want that.
I don't want it.
Yeah,
So with this shotgun, guys, again, particularly it gets me as a lefty, okay?
Yep.
Use that thumb instead of the meaty part of your hand, and then if you feel any problems with this whatsoever, and me, what I'm doing here is, when I leave this closet ready, I'm simply grabbing it, and of course it doesn't do it because it's locked back now, right? So let me actually load one through, so then that way you can see it. So when it's sitting here in the closet, put one in there, okay? Set it back on the lifter. Okay, cool, then it's there. I go 1, 2, pop it forward.
Yep.
Just as part of my loading procedure. Then I know it's all the way in battery and I won't get that click. Guys, I hope that helps you. Let's make sure that our gun is reliable and ready when we need it.
That's important.